Okay, so my name's Despina.
Okay, well,
Um,
nice to meet you, Despina.
Nice
My
to
name
meet
is
you.
Niyati.
Okay. And I'm from London. Um, my family's from Greece, so I grew up bilingual. And
Mm,
I've also lived in Peru, so I speak Greek and Spanish. And
mm-hmm.
I've been teaching online for like 3 years now, and I really enjoy it. I
Yeah.
do mostly conversation classes, and if a student wants, we can do like lesson plans, like depending on what the student wants to focus on.
Yeah,
So,
that sounds
Niyati, that's
great.
a beautiful name you have.
Thank you so much.
What does it mean?
It means destiny.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I know, I love that, and I thank my mom every day for naming me Niyati. Actually, I didn't like my name initially because people in my class didn't have this name. Like, I've never met anybody in my school that had the same name with like me. And so I always thought that why do I have such a unique name? Because as a kid we just think in completely opposite way. So I didn't like that,
Exactly.
but then yeah, I grew up to appreciate that like I've never met another Niyati, which is actually pretty great.
Yeah, I actually know exactly how you feel because I had a
Mhm.
different name as well growing up in England with a Greek name. So,
Okay.
but yeah, when you grow up, you learn to appreciate your uniqueness and where you're from, right?
Okay, so is your name Greek? Like, is this
Yeah,
one the Greek name? Okay.
yeah, it's Greek. So my parents are from Greece, and when they got married,
Hmm.
they came to England. So I was born in London.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Okay. So you're from Rajasthan, India, right?
Yes, I am.
Tell me about that. What's Rajasthan like?
Okay, so Rajasthan is known for its forts. So if you're into like ancient forts, it's the best place to visit. We have endless number of forts, and especially in my city, so I'm from Jodhpur, and it's a popular destination for forts, and there are a lot of museums as well that
Ooh,
have some antique pieces. I actually went to one museum just yesterday, and
okay,
like funny enough, I'm born and raised in this city, but I had never
right.
been to that museum. So it's a coin museum, and it's
Ooh,
got the coin collection from all over the world. It's pretty
okay,
great, actually. Got to know just yesterday that paper coins used to exist. I didn't know that.
okay. Do they exist now?
No, I don't think so. Not anymore. I don't think they exist anywhere. I didn't know that this was a thing.
Indian food is very popular here.
Mm-hmm.
Curry is like almost become like a British institution. Yeah, people really love Indian curry, spicy food. But yeah, I'm not quite there.
Yeah.
So I saw your
No, I get
channel.
that. Mm-hmm.
Your conversations are really interesting, and you're like such a natural communicator.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that because I used to get really nervous. But I
Yeah,
think the more conversations I'm having,
yeah,
the more confident I'm becoming.
definitely. Every talk becomes just like another day, every interview gets easier, right?
Kind of. And yes, I actually absolutely love it when we're able to exchange cultures with somebody else
Yeah,
through a common language, which is how great is that,
it's
like being
special.
able to, yes, being able to connect with somebody else that is entirely across the globe. And we're
Yes,
just able to share some like food recipes, maybe cultural
Netflix.
shocks.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely love that.
yeah, definitely. And you notice that people are more similar than they are different in the end, right?
Exactly. Like you might be thinking, well, this person is from a different country. We probably don't share much in common. But as you get to talking and you realize, oh my God, we have so much in common.
Yes.
Like maybe like sometimes I feel like I have things more in common with people sometimes living abroad than
Sure,
people from my own country.
sure, because
Yeah,
people are people. Yeah.
exactly.
And how long have you been doing this YouTubing?
It's been 1 year. I think the first video I posted was in February 2025. So yeah, I've been exactly 1 year. And honestly, all credits go to my mom. She kind of motivated me to start a channel. I would have never thought, if somebody approached me in January 2025 and said that, oh, you'd be interacting with people all across India, all across the globe, I'd say, are you kidding me? Like, that's not me. That this is not something that I
Really?
am capable of.
Seem like a natural. Cool. And how do you feel about Rajasthan? Do you love being there? Is it somewhere you'll always come back to? Or could you potentially see yourself leaving and that's it? Goodbye.
Oh my God, I haven't thought about that, but
Oh, you haven't? Okay,
obviously
you're still young.
yeah, no, but because I've been born and raised in Rajasthan, I think this place will always be close to my heart,
Hmm.
despite not loving the heat so much over here.
Hmm.
Because I absolutely love the other things about Rajasthan, and I really appreciate the culture of Rajasthan.
Nice.
It's it's like a melting pot of culture. Just Rajasthan alone. I'm not even including the other states and the other cultures
Yeah.
that we have. But
Interesting.
I saw on your profile, I think you lived in Peru for
Yeah.
7 years.
Yeah.
Yes. How has it been? I think it's a sunny country, is it?
Well, it's a big country and it has
Mm-hmm.
like microclimates, so different climates depending where you are. I was
Yeah.
actually in the Andes, the mountain range
Mm-hmm.
of the Andes, at an altitude of about 3,500 feet. So that's where it changes, you know.
Hmm.
It's a high altitude climate,
Hmm.
very dry. The sun comes out and it's about 21, 22 degrees all year round. But before the sun comes up and when the sun comes down, or if you're in the shade, it's kind of
Hmm.
cold.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you experience like all weathers in one day, but it never gets too like hot or too cold like
Yeah.
England in the winter, you know. And it's also like rainy season and dry season.
Hmm.
Do you have rainy season?
Yes, we do.
Right.
Yeah.
How is that? Is
It
it intense?
okay. It doesn't last as long as it would in other states. I would say, especially as you go towards the south side of India, they experience heavy rainfalls, absolutely heavy rainfalls. But that's not the case for Rajasthan. So like we experience lighter rainfalls.
Good.
They yeah, they exist for like shorter duration, but I would say yes, they are intense because it
Okay.
rains heavily within that short span of time.
Okay. So, in the Andes in Cusco, it's not so intense. So it's
Hmm.
definitely livable. It rains, it stops, the sun comes out, rains again. So
Yeah,
like if you're putting out your washing, you're like, put it in again,
yeah,
put it out again, like this.
right. That makes sense.
But
Yeah.
it's not too bad. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
And so, but I think you mentioned that you learned Spanish living in Peru, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it difficult?
To
I
be
could never
honest,
imagine learning a third language,
for
honestly.
some reason, for me, it just was really easy. I just picked it
Okay.
up. Yeah, I
Hmm.
just picked it up in like a month.
Right. So, did you, was it by interacting with locals? Did
Yeah.
that help you?
Yes,
Okay.
complete immersion. Um,
Okay.
so as I said, I grew up bilingual. So
Hmm.
firstly, I think that helps.
Yes.
Yeah. Um,
Right.
and also maybe, Greek and Spanish have some similarities,
Mm-hmm.
grammatically, and the accent, is quite similar.
Okay.
So I'm lucky, like I don't sound too much like a gringo when I'm there,
Yeah.
I can get away with people thinking I'm a Spanish speaker, like native.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kinda. Um,
Okay.
And yeah, I went there and I found a group of friends, which
Hmm.
is really lucky. And so I was just all around Spanish speakers. And in the beginning, I had no idea what they were talking about. I had my little phrase book, so I
Yeah.
learned my basic phrases.
Hmm.
And I was just listening like very intensely and repeating like everything like a parrot. And
Yeah.
I think when it becomes your passion as well, it becomes
Yeah.
easier. And the more you learn, the more you learn, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, no, that makes sense. But
Yeah,
how's it been growing up in a bilingual household? Because I think so your parents were teaching you Greek because
yeah, they were
like
just
when you
speaking
when
to
you
us
would
in
step
Greek.
outside, it was just English all the time, right?
Right. So I don't actually remember. It was like I just always spoke Greek and English.
Hmm.
um,
Right.
and actually, my English is stronger than my
Hmm.
Greek. My Greek
Yeah.
is fluent, I would say, but not like native, you know?
Yeah.
So it's almost there, but people can tell that I'm not from there when I'm there, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's good enough, you know?
Yeah. Right. No, I think environment plays a huge factor. I think so. Like you were able to pick up Spanish quickly because you moved to Peru. But then for Greek, it's like your parents are interacting with you in that
Yeah,
language. But
yeah,
then when you're stepping outside eventually with your friends or coworkers, you have to speak in English. And you're listening to English 24/7 as
yeah.
soon as you step outside. So I
And
think
TV, cartoons.
exactly, television, radio, songs, everything. So yeah, that makes sense. So
Yeah.
you do you visit Greece often?
Yeah, I tend to go every summer. So I go to
Okay.
like the beach. We have a house there as well with a beautiful coastline, beautiful
Yeah.
food. I have relatives there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been many, many times to Greece.
Oh my
Um,
God, I'd love to visit Greece someday. I
yes,
thought I interacted with somebody from Greece,
yeah,
and the things she told me, like she would say that like as soon as it would be summer, like we would just go to the sea. That sounded really interesting. Also, I googled about Greece, and you have like white houses,
the
especially
islands
around
you're
the coast.
talking about
Yeah,
now. We have many, many islands, beautiful
yeah.
islands. Yeah, that are like picturesque.
Okay, so do you have a favorite island to visit to in Greece?
I haven't been to too many, but
Hmm.
I really like Paros,
Okay.
and I still have on my bucket list Crete. I went once, and I'd like to go again because it's the biggest island, and it seems like a really livable place. Because a lot of these
Hmm.
islands they kind of like shut down
Hmm.
once summer's over, but
Yeah.
Crete has life all year round, and it has expats, locals. It's got that nice fusion that makes it like
Yeah.
an interesting
Hmm.
place. And then there's like these little quiet islands that would be really nice to discover, like one summer,
Hmm.
you know, just to like
Yeah.
detach and be in like the
Okay.
beautiful seas. Yeah, definitely
Hmm.
recommend it.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you do for fun in Rajasthan?
So as a kid, I used to go for camel riding a lot. Typical, like in desert, you would imagine that the sand dunes and the camels. And yes, Rajasthan does live up to those stereotypes. So, like some of the cities in Rajasthan are really popular as like winter destination to visit the sand dunes and experience that authentic experience. We also have like dances and music and food. So it's like a whole event that takes place. You kind of like book tickets in advance
Oh,
and you could go there as a group, as a
yeah,
family. And like, so everybody is made to sit around like this huge fire, and there are dancers and there's music, and these dancers are wearing like colorful clothes, and so like it's a whole vibe.
it's beautiful. So when I was 13, we went on a school trip, a Mediterranean school cruise, and we went
Mhm.
like one day to Egypt, one day to Greece, one day to Turkey, and one day to Israel. This is a long time
Mhm.
ago when I was at school.
Mhm.
Um, and in Egypt, our one day in Egypt, we went to see the pyramids, and
Yeah.
I went on a camel.
Okay. And how was the experience?
Crazy.
Right. That's the word to describe it. Yep.
So I just remember I was 13. Okay,
Yeah.
um, I just remember it was like, like I was like, oh my god, oh my
That's
god.
exactly that's the way to describe it. Yes. So I remember the first time I sat on the camel, I had flashbacks of my entire life. Like at the age of 6, I was like, "Oh my God, what did I get myself into?" And yeah, they're kind of like unstable when they're
Do they
walking.
stop doing that eventually and just?
No, they never do that. That's just how they walk.
Uh,
So
oh, they're like that the whole
it's
time. Okay, so you've
yeah,
got to just like stabilize yourself and
yeah, exactly,
be
the whole time.
strong.
Right, and it's on you. Like you're the one sitting on the camel. Camels
Right,
naturally
right,
walk that way, right?
right.
And so
It's a
yeah,
vibe.
yeah, but I would not do that anymore. I mean, I love doing that as a kid, but I think the reason is like it's kind of like an animal cruelty thing in a
Right.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in India, like they don't even consider anything. Like some, like the entire family sitting on one camel, a husband and a wife and their child
Yeah, it's
on
a
that camel,
lot.
and I'm like, yeah, it's a lot, and you can clearly see the camel struggling, but these people they don't care. They're just getting the money. So
Mm.
it's a really sad sight.
So maybe like your generation is changing in that aspect, do you think?
I don't know about others actually.
Yeah. Hope so. Hope so.
Yeah,
It
but
will get
for
there
me,
eventually.
yeah, I hope they do actually. I really hope they do. But it
Thanks
was so
for
nice connecting with you. Thank you so much. I
thanks so
really,
much,
really appreciate it.
Niyati. Thanks
Yeah.
for having me on your channel. Take care.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with everything.